Hello! In this video, I will demonstrate 3 breathing techniques that are extremely effective in not only reducing overall anxiety, but in helping to manage real-time stress. For each of the 3 techniques, I'll show 2 different versions. One that you can do when you have a space and some time to yourself that will help foster an overall reduction in anxiety, and one that you can do discreetly, even if there are lots of people around, to help you manage real-time stress. So feel free to play around with each of these techniques, see which of them resonates with you, and eventually maybe you'll be able to make them your own so that they become part of your stress management routine. The first technique I'm going to demonstrate is what's known as alternate nostril breathing. In the first version of this technique, we'll use our dominant hand. So I'm right-handed and I'll use that hand to teach, but if you're left-handed, feel free to use the opposite hand and just adjust according to what feels best for you. Take your index and middle fingers, and to begin with, you're going to place those fingers right on your forehead between your eyebrows. Your thumb and your index finger will come to rest just gently beside each nostril. So index fingers place on forehead, thumb comes to rest beside the right nostril if you're right-handed, and the ring finger beside the left nostril. On an inhale, using the ring finger to close off the left, you breathe in just through the right nostril. At the top of the breath, use your thumb to close off the right, release the ring finger to open the left, and breathe out the left side. Inhale to breathe back in through the left side, closing off the left nostril at the top, releasing the thumb, and breathing out the right side. Inhale again through the right, close the right, open the left, breathe out. Inhale left, close left, open right, breathe out right. Last round, inhale right, close right, open left, exhale. Inhale left, close left, open right, exhale. Release your hands and let your breathing return to normal. Your index and middle fingers, having contact with that spot on your forehead, have the dual function of creating an overall relaxation effect in the body. That's because that spot between the eyebrows, right in the center of the forehead, corresponds with an acupressure point that has an overall relaxation effect on the body. In the second version of this breathing technique, the hand stays away from the face. So it's nice to practice this version after you've run through at least a few rounds using your hand, so you have an idea about the sensations that you're hoping to achieve. Obviously, without the use of your hand to close off the opposite nostril, you won't be able to solely get the air to enter the one side. But that's not the point of the second version. The point of the second version is to bring your awareness to each nostril as the air enters, and then the opposite as it exits, and vice versa. So we'll go through a couple of rounds without the hands. So bring your awareness to the entrance of the right nostril. Inhale. Pause at the top, bring your awareness to the left side as you breathe out. Exhale. Inhaling again through the left. Switching to the right, exhale. Inhale back through the right. Shift your awareness left, exhale. Inhale left. Shift to the right, exhale. Last round, inhale right. Shift the awareness to the left, exhale, and inhale left. Shift to the right, exhale. Again, let your breathing return to normal. What I like about both of these techniques is that it causes you to think about what it is you're doing. You need concentration for these exercises. And one of the things that leads to an overwhelming stress sensation or an increase in anxiety is what is known in yoga as the monkey mind. So the thoughts that keep going and keep running through your head, through your mind, add that level of increased overwhelm. When you're focusing specifically on where the air is supposed to be traveling, it stops the monkey mind in its tracks and prevents the downward spiral from happening. The second breathing technique is what is known as skull shining breath. It's an interesting name, but what people often experience as a secondary sensation with this technique is a little bit of tingling in the face and head. So its origin is that this breathing technique helps to purify the brain and get rid of some toxins. But what I really like this technique for is when you're feeling very overwhelmed with anxiety. People who are prone to panic attacks, as you feel that spiral of panic coming to a head, engaging in the skull shining breath can often stop a panic attack in its tracks for a lot of people. So this one is not as easy to grasp, especially as a beginner, but if you play around with it a little bit, you'll start to get a feel for it. So we focus uniquely on the exhales. And to start with this technique, place a hand on the belly just below the rib cage. The other hand can come to rest on the rib cage or can stay in your lap, whatever feels best. To begin, take a deep breath in and breathe out slowly. Just releasing all of the air and getting rid of the toxins at the same time. And then for this technique, the exhales are what we focus on. The inhales we'll let happen on its own. So I'll do a quick round just to demonstrate and then invite you to join in on the second round. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, snap the belly in. So the technique is to exhale forcefully. You will feel your belly snap in under your hand, and the inhale will just naturally happen as it re-inflates on its own. So there's no need to worry about the inhalation. It happens all on its own. And the different versions of this technique are really related to the speed at which you do the breathing. So when you're home on your own and you have time to play and practice, you want to start to work towards increasing the speed. As you increase the speed, you'll start to feel more and more of that tingling sensation that I spoke about earlier. So to begin with, we're going to do 15 exhales together at a relatively quick pace. Do not be alarmed if you're finding it difficult to keep up with. Go at a pace that is comfortable for you. So again, place a hand on the belly. It doesn't matter which one, whichever one feels more comfortable. The other one can come to rest on your chest or just in your lap. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. You can breathe out through your nose or your mouth, whichever is more comfortable. Deep breath in. We'll begin. Three, two, one. And relax. Let your breathing return to normal. Again, it's normal to feel a little bit of numbness or tingling in the face. It's just a change in the nervous system, a change in the circulatory system. Safe, healthy, and effective. To do a more discreet version of skull shining breath, if you're in an environment where you want to engage but don't want to be seen sitting and snapping your belly back into place, simply keep your hands in your lap if you're seated or at your side. Take a deep breath in a cleansing exhale, and then deep breath in again, and breathe out slower, but through the nose forcefully. And let your breathing return to normal. You can do this as slowly as you like. It's just enough often to snap that belly. It creates almost an instant reset in the sensations that are causing the panic. It's much more effective if you're feeling a full-blown panic attack coming on to be able to do that in more rapid succession. If you don't have the opportunity to do that exercise, 1, 2, or 3 breaths with a little bit of a snapping in the abdominal region is a great start to sort of stop that panic in its tracks. The third and final exercise that we will look at today is what's known as box breathing. So in box breathing, bring to mind a square, and that is essentially what we're using for our breathing. So on the inhale, we'll inhale to a count of 4, which is going up the outside of the box, pausing for 4 counts as well, which is the top of the box, exhaling for a count of 4, down the side, and then pausing at the bottom of the exhale. So again, inhale, count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold for a count of 4. Only hold at the top or the bottom or either if that is something that feels comfortable in your body. If it brings on any increase in anxiety or stress, skip those steps. You can just focus on the inhaling to a count of 4 and exhaling to a count of 4. For the sake of this demonstration, I will include the holds, but you do what is most comfortable for you. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let your breathing return to normal. And one of my favorite versions of any of these breathing techniques is the one that I'm going to demonstrate last but definitely not least. And that's the discrete anywhere version of box breathing. The anywhere, anytime version of box breathing is simply as deep a breath in as you can comfortably manage, and then as slow an exhale as possible. I'll demonstrate. Take a deep breath in. Pause for a brief second at the top, and then exhale as slowly as possible, either through your nose or your mouth. You will feel yourself almost deflating. Your lungs are deflating as you exhale. So your shoulders will move down, your chest or your rib cage will squeeze in, and your belly will move in, letting all of that air out. The slower you exhale and the longer your exhale is, the more you're going to release some of that tension and anxiety. It only takes one slow, deep breath like that to give an immediate sense of relief. Each breath you take after that first one takes your elevator of anxiety from the top floor to the bottom floor, one stop at a time. You'll start to feel your body actually responding to your breathing, because the breath is the one access point that we have to our involuntary nervous system. So everything that controls our heart rate, our blood pressure, our the contractions of our blood vessels, our immune system, all of that is accessible to us only through our breathing. So that concludes our video on breathing techniques for anxiety and stress relief. I hope you found at least one technique that is useful and meaningful to you. And I hope to see you back here again.